is showtime. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a right now, live on DJ Chase Radio, the DJ Chase Radio app, live on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to an all new Downright Sports. I am your host, the Notorious sports critic Brent Reid, here on a special Monday, May 18th edition of the show, live again on DJ Chase Radio. Been a long time since we've been live on air for any particular reason other than just because we in here. That's right. Welcome, everybody. If you've never heard the show before, well, it's a sports show for sports fans, and it is the home of true sports fans. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Downright Sports. And on today's show, we're solely going to the hardwood courts. We're going basketball court, if you will, as now after Game 7 the Eastern Conference semifinals, now you have the conference finals are set for both the West is set for the East after last night with the Cavaliers beating the Detroit Pistons in a blowout, complete utter blowout, not even close. And we're going to touch on that as we preview the Eastern Conference round. Sorry, live show, and I knew this was going to happen. My damn phone rang during the show, so while I give filler, subscribe and like the Downright Sports on YouTube, and follow us on all social media, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, we're there. Except for X. I'm not at X, not at Twitter. So, yeah, get ready. Let me send this damn text message, and I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm going to hum because it is live radio, so give me 1 second. Done humming. I just wanted to get this damn text message out. All right, so shall we? Let's proceed. The Western Conference Finals, as I previously stated, are set and ready to go. And who's in? Well, we have the two best teams, not just in the West, but the two best teams in the entire league record-wise, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. These teams have faced each other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this year, and have faced each other in the past when it comes to the Western Conference Finals. The last time they actually faced one another was in 2014. Yeah. They actually, fun fact, faced each other 2 years before I relaunched Downright Sports as a podcast. How about that? Last time they faced each other, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Greg Popovich were still active on the San Antonio staffs and roster. And the Oklahoma City Thunder had a little trio known as Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook were on the team still. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been over 10 years since they've last faced. The Spurs in this time period have done basically a rebuild. They got fortunate and they were able to land after tanking. If you're listening on the radio, I'm winking, but they landed through some tanking. They were able to land Victor Wembanyama, who has turned out to be a generational talent, but they had picked up some other pieces along the way, players such as Castle. They traded for Fox, Harper, so they were able to build around Victor with young talent, new talent, and keep rebuild this thing with the new system, if you will, the new Spurs life, the way it's going right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder, on the other hand, are the defending world champions. Last year, they won the NBA championship. Who did they beat? It doesn't even matter. No, they beat the Indiana Pacers, who, due to injury, had a terrible terrible setback this season. But last year, beat the Pacers, and it wasn't a blow. It was actually a very close series, and wondering if Halliburton doesn't get hurt if Oklahoma City still wins. Oklahoma City is also riding high, sweeping the Lakers to get here. And on top of that, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander winning another MVP. We're going to discuss the relevance there. Is that in my notes? It is in the notes as we keep recapping the season. When we look at these two teams, some would say they're almost identical. Almost. Not quite, but they're almost identical. They are two franchises that have large, large athletes in Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. Both are kind of low-key rival, even though um, it is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's team in Oklahoma. Chet is probably the only guy this postseason that can guard Victor eye to eye. In all seriousness, like we haven't been able, Victor has been unmatched. With that said, though, it's not like Victor is running away against teams in these playoffs. So far, the Spurs, while Oklahoma City has had more of a smooth ride, Oklahoma the freaking dick. It's something maybe go back. The Spurs, they're battling and they're winning what some would say with old elbow grease. The Trailblazers series, Trailblazers was giving them a little bit of a fight, even though the series was 4-1 Spurs. When you look at Oklahoma, swept the Suns, swept the Lakers. The Spurs would go on and face the Timberwolves, and if it wasn't for some injuries and crazy officiating, who knows? But really, the Spurs went 6 games with Minnesota, and they did spank them in the last game, but they won 6 games. In these series, the Victor's only averaging 20 points this postseason. His effectiveness is on the defensive side, over 10 rebounds, 4 blocks a game, which is the most in the entire postseason. But he's affecting more or less on a defensive side because teams just can't drive to the basket. They just can't have a guy coasting the basket. Basically, you have to outshoot them to beat them, which this past year, Oklahoma has not been able to do in the regular season. Now, with that being said, it's only just the regular season. But the regular season still tells a story. Let's backpedal to the page. 5 times these teams have faced each other this year, and 4 out of those 5 times the Spurs had beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder, and some of these games weren't even close. When you look at the records between the two, the Spurs are averaging 114 points a game. They're shooting 47% from the field, 36% from three-pointers, and they're averaging, they get at least 4 blocks a game against them. For Oklahoma, it's a lot different. Only able to score around 109 points. They are shooting 44% from the field, but it's not the same as the Spurs. And when it comes to the three-point shot, the Spurs are out shooting Oklahoma City, which no secret, Oklahoma City is not. They play more. If you remember, I'm not going to go super far back. If you go back and watch the Toronto Raptors when they won the finals a few years ago, it's a lot of driving, pick and roll, but mid-range jumpers and trying to get the ball out on the open court. But so is the Spurs. The Spurs just incorporate a lot more three-point shooting. This season, when it comes to how evenly matched these two teams are, it's insane. Not playing each other, just playing everybody else. Look at these numbers. And this is during the season. When it comes to field goal percentage, Oklahoma City, 48.4, Spurs, 48.3. When it comes to three-point attempts, Oklahoma City, 37.9, Spurs, 37.9. When it comes to makes, uh, Oklahoma City makes about 13.8 a game. When it comes to the Spurs, 13.6 a game. When it comes to rebounds, San Antonio, 35.6. When it comes to Oklahoma City, 34.6. Good grief. Now, on paper, we all should be gearing up for a 7-game series, a 7-game slobber knocker, a 7 games drag them out, beat them up. But we know better than that. This is the postseason, and things tend to change, and people tend to get hurt, and we all lose in the end as fans who are clamoring for a monster game. Excuse me, a monster series. Looking at this series and hoping, if we can all hope, if you will, let's all hope. Let's have a hope vision right now, shall we? The hope is we're looking at a classic um Knicks Miami Heat of the 90s, a classic Lakers Celtics classics, Pistons Boston. We're hoping for those type of series. And honestly, this series here, and this is where, like, if I'm the NBA, you none of these games can be on Peacock. I mean, they will be on Peacock, but like, you need these games on national television every single night. Don't bounce it for The Voice. Don't bounce it for Law and Order, special sanitation division. Don't bounce it for another Chicago show. Don't bounce it even for Seinfeld reunion. Because if this series lives up, which so far in this postseason, we haven't seen some of these matchups turn out. A lot of these games have been blowouts. The closing games have been blowouts. But now we're in the conference finals where both, in the Western Conference, these are the two best teams in the league. And yeah, the regular season be what it may, but now you guys are playing for the championship. Oklahoma City is looking to make history here to be the first team since Golden State before 2020, before the pandemic, to go back to back. We haven't had a back to back champion since Golden State. Think about that. And that's what, 2015, 2017, 18? Hold on. Let's because I can't remember because 10 other things is on my head. But let's pull this up, and while I pull it up, let's ramble. If Oklahoma City does that, then now you have, for the first time in years, an actual dynasty in the making. Think about all the other teams we try to anoint in between them. We try to anoint the Boston Celtics recently. They have chaos going on. Jaylen Brown has little brother syndrome worse than anybody. We thought it was going to be the Denver Nuggets. They seem to actually be going backwards. Nobody really thought it was going to be the Milwaukee Bucks, but there was hope. There was hope. What other champions have been like that? Those have been the champions. Golden State got one in there, but nobody thought that they were going to go back to back. So now you have a team back in the conference finals, back with its entire crew. Everybody signed forever with a shot of getting back to the finals. And you, on the other side of that, you have the Spurs, who is a recognizable franchise when it comes to winning, when it comes to pedigree. They are the modern day Boston Celtics. And what do I mean by that? The Celtics in the let's just call it the silver age of the NBA, when they would win they won 10 championships out of 8. They won 8 in a row. Then after Russell retires and leaves as the coach, they had some years, and then in the 70s they returned, and then in the 80s they returned, and then it was quiet in the 90s, and then they had a little resurgence in the mid teens, the late teens of the 2000s. Well, not the late teens, but the late aughts, early teens of the 2000s, and now they're kind of back. But the Spurs have been the ideal franchise, how to get it done, how to build, how to develop. And that's the thing with the Spurs. They develop. That's what, quite frankly, if you're Kawhi, all you Kawhi Leonard fans out there, you should be laughing at him, because who knows? Really, who knows what Kawhi Leonard's career could have been? Has he got MVP awards? Does he have championships? But he chose to run because playing in San Antonio requires work and effort. And if you look at Victor Wembanyama, he brings that work and effort. He brings the energy of David Robinson. He brings the energy of Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Greg Popovich, Bruce Bowen. Those guys. It's kind of like Aaron Judge with the Yankees and keeping that lineage along. So if you're NBC and you want to, really take the TV viewership from not just ESPN but from everybody, you pray or you manipulate these games so they can at least get you six. Heck, you cannot if you're the NBA, and I'll get back on a record. Hold on. Yeah, Golden State was the last back-to-back champion, 2017, 2018. It's almost 10 years since the NBA had a back-to-back champion. Think about that. And the reason why that's relevant is because we kind of became accustomed to it. And the NBA is one of the few leagues where that happens more frequently. You know, it happened a lot in the 60s. It happened in the 70s. It happened in the 80s, and then the Jordan eras, and then the Shaq and Kobe eras, um, and then later you would get some mashups here and there. But heck, even Kobe and the Lakers did it again. And then Golden State does it, and then we never had it since 2008, 18, excuse me. Anyway, I digress. Oh, Miami Heat did it too. I digress. In this series, and again, I'm talking from a standpoint of TV viewership. Forget X's and O's. We just want entertainment. You got Victor, Chet, two humans that are larger than life, and the conversation will be who can stop SGA, because the thing the Spurs have proven is they can win without Victor on the court. They did it against Minnesota. They almost did it against Minnesota. And they can win with Victor not even being, I mean, yes, he's the lead scorer, but look at it like this. Castle averaging 19.9, that's 20 points. DeAndre Fox, showing that he should have always been in the playoffs, averaging 18 points. Harper averaging 13 points a game. And then on the flip side, when you look at Oklahoma City, they're getting Jalen Williams back, a 20-point scorer. He's played 2 playoff games, but now having him back helps. SGA has been carrying the load. The phrasing here is all bad. But SGA has been doing, 29 points a game. Mitchell, 18 points a game. Chet, 18 points a game. That's it. They got 3 guys. Well, now Jalen Williams come back. Both teams will have 4 guys who can give you 20 plus any given night. So the matchups is endless on who's going to be the guy to step up. I feel like and I'll break down how I think Oklahoma City will eventually end up winning um, this series, only because they've been in this position once before. But their X factor is going to be Alex Caruso, who is that engine, the guy off the bench that's going to be able to do a lot of the dirty work, get some cheap fouls, pick up key steals, pick up key rebounds, hit key shots. If you're the San Antonio Spurs and you're looking at your roster, and a roster of young guys, and some guys have not even seen any bits of the postseason, let alone been this far, and you're also going to ask your vet, I mean, not your vet, you're going to ask your young star to get you further. The guy I lean on right now in this postseason is Harrison Barnes. Seriously. If I'm the Spurs right now, I'm looking to Harrison Barnes, not just from his expertise. This is a guy that was on a championship team with Golden State. You get what I'm saying? And he's only 33 years old, which I'm just noticing, which is crazy to me. But Barnes has played in all 11 games this postseason, right? He's averaging about 9 minutes a game. I may increase those minutes. Let him be, because he's going to know how to play playoff basketball in this time of the season, which is going to be more crucial for a team like the Spurs than it will be for Oklahoma City. Like, seriously, let him get out there. Barnes I don't know, I'm not a 6'7". He's a forward. I'm not sure he can guard SGA, but throwing him out there for longer periods of time is going to really, in my opinion, be a huge factor if used correctly. And if you're the Spurs, you may have been saving him this entire time for this moment. Seriously. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Now, if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's not about repeating what you did last year. It's really elevating your game, because you just played 2 garbage team. No, I'm not gonna call it Lakers garbage. The Lakers are hurt. I wonder how that series plays out. If they got Luka Doncic, seriously. But you played a Suns team, which was basically like, if you're thinking of college basketball, it was basically a playing team because they were, but because they were, and they were just out there. And then you got a Lakers team that was not 100%. So, and then you've been sitting out for a week. So now you got to come with it. If you're Oklahoma City, you this past season was not able to outshoot them from the 3-point line, and I think that's how you need to establish the tone. You come out the gate, and if you can, because saying is easier than doing it, but if you can go out and knock down some critical, hit them in the mouth hard pause with some quick threes, bump, bump, and then barrage them with that, you now may have the Spurs off balance because the Spurs are going to be more used to SGA getting the ball off a screen, off a handoff, going to the middle of the back, driving to the middle, looking for a floater, looking for a jumper, or looking for the foul. Spurs are going to be looking for that. But if you take that away, now the Spurs are like, oh, what's about to happen here? And then now, if you let, in my opinion, and this will never happen in today's game, but you put Chet down on the block and maybe establish an inside-out game, throw it down. Chet is the one that facilitates the ball, moves it around, gets Williams involved, gets AJ involved. Now you got the Spurs disorganized, and then you can go back. You can kill them in the fourth quarter with that game. Is how I probably would play it and see how it plays out. So this series, and I'm gonna hype it up to no end. This will be the series to watch for the matchups, for the opportunity at history. Will the Spurs get back to the finals with something that we are accustomed to seeing? And remember back in the day when the Spurs would go to the finals, people said, "Oh, it's going to be boring," and then they got good. But because excellence always weighs out your nonsense. But these are two teams that kill you the old-fashioned way. It's the flash is there. SGA is a great player. He is not flashy. He's not hitting you with the handles of a Kyrie. He's not throwing it down with dunks like a LeBron. He's not killing you with threes like a Steph. No, he is very, very much a better version of DeMar DeRozan, just as a point guard. Like, seriously, he is a great, forget good. He is a great player, plays inside his game, doesn't need to go into the tool bag, if you will. What is this new thing now? They got all in his bag. No, man just plays his game, gets to the basket, gets up shots, and scores with efficiency. It's pretty much what it takes to win. And as much as it pains me to say this, Oklahoma City is going to win this in 5. Yep. Book it. OKC in 5. It's going to be a competitive 5, but OKC wins it in 5. Why? Well, because I think the Spurs got a little beat up in that last series. And sometimes when you get beat up, it does gear you for the next round. We've seen teams who have to grit it out, make it further, and teams who had an easy road. But I feel like Oklahoma City is one of those teams that's built to maintain and withstand the punishment of being in the playoffs and as a playoff built team. They are the new version of the Golden State Warriors, of what we used to see. So give me Oklahoma in 5. Book it. If I had a sound effect machine, I could do that, but I can't. Hey, everybody, this is Downright Sports, and we're live on here on DJ Chase Radio. Do not turn that dial, or turn off your phone, or change the app. That's it. It's no longer turning the dial. Don't change the app. All right. When we come back in segment 2, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. How about the Eastern Conference Finals? My New York Knicks. It sounds like Stephen A. Smith. My New York Knicks. The Knicks are going to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And what did I write down? Too much rest for the Knicks? Question mark. I'm Ron Burgundy. Subscribe and like the Downright Sports on all social media platforms. Go to YouTube and watch some of our shorts. Go to TikTok, watch the same shorts, just on TikTok. And then always download, listen to DJ Chase Radio app, and we're the home of the creative. We will be back with Mo. What's that? Downright Sports. I gotta find it. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Let's play that.
Welcome back. We're here in Bad Boys. Rolling with my motherfucking strap on the side of me. Don't fuck with the grease paint jeans. Rolling with my motherfucking strap on the side of me. Don't fuck with the grease paint jeans. Rolling with my motherfucking strap on the side of me. Don't fuck with the grease paint jeans. Rolling with my motherfucking strap on the side of me. To my motherfucking don't fuck with the grease paint jeans. Broke him down with the clip and a trigger, screaming like, hey, yelling, come on, nigga. Happy head motherfuckers in a coupe to feel, light shit up like Fire Marshal Bill. You see how hot summer flow like my nigga Domino and get a big fat sacker. Yeah, yeah. I keep over here, a motherfucking diamond, look at the nigga with an AKA. Lottie Toddy, I shut up his body, lift his ass bloody in the front of the body. Get a young nigga rolling up out the cut. I jump up with the pants on my neck. Music ain't got it when they step to this cheese. See, I was my motherfucking Uzi. It's Philip's brain.